Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
all right, all right.
I'm Nicholas.
I'm Jeremy.
And I'd be Justin.
So we had a week. Actually, we had 2 weeks because we took a vacation. We had a bit of a holiday.
Yeah, it was a nice Easter break.
So
I ate a lot of food.
so did I.
I did not.
I had a lot of ham.
Me too. And stuffing. Wait,
did not.
there was no stuffing. I lied. There was green bean casserole though, and the French fried onions. You know how I like to keep those non-soggy. Well, I'm happy to say they stayed intact.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up with a bag of ham. So like every day this week for lunch, I had a nice Easter ham sandwich.
Lovely.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh no, it was so.
Do you guys have a lot of family over, or was it kind of more small?
Well, it was a little smaller. I mean, no, not the big. Hopefully, at some point this year, we can. I say hopefully we can get back to the large family gatherings, but like I actually like the not having 100 people over. But
Yeah.
What about you, Justin? Did you do anything special? Oh no, I already asked you.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know the
it's-
answer to this.
I'd say it was just the two of us over here. We didn't have the little one or nothing, so we really didn't do anything. It's just
That's nice.
yeah. I don't even remember what we had for Easter, like food wise.
Just a lot of candy.
Probably a lot of candy.
Did the
The
candy?
day,
Huh?
I was gonna say, the day after is when I ate a lot of candy because it's 50% off.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, how much did the discount go for? And you just answered it. So,
Ate at least a bag of jelly
Well,
beans, 2 bags, 3 bags of peanut butter eggs, and a bag of white chocolate peanut butter cups.
oh, we should have done an Easter candy bracket.
Easter,
Oh, yeah.
man, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Although I did see, speaking of candy bracket, somebody had some sort of like halfway to Halloween sale.
Oh, really?
I was like, yeah.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, it's April, so yeah, 6 months is October.
Oh shit, we should have done something.
Oh. Well, when the end of the month would be halfway.
True,
Right,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
got
that's good
time.
time, yeah.
Well, I guess they meant like halfway to the Halloween season.
True. Okay, yeah. Who was doing the sale? Do you
What?
know?
I
We're,
don't even
we're
remember.
taking it literally though, halfway to Halloween.
Yeah, we'll do
Well,
it
I
early.
mean-
So we can still plan for that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
in April spectacular.
Yes, I love it.
I figured any excuse that Jeremy can have to, celebrate Halloween.
That's true. I'll take it. I saw Shutter was doing something. I don't know if that's who you saw, but
Maybe that's who I saw. Yeah. So last weekend, I actually broke down and went to a movie in the theater.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
Would you? I'm gonna guess Godzilla vs Kong.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I mean, I could have watched it for free on HBO Max, but I was like, no, I'm gonna put down some money and I'm gonna go see this movie in the theaters. It was totally worth it. I mean, it was every bit as silly as I thought it would be, but seeing that
little
kind of like,
predictable.
yeah, but I mean, it was worth seeing on the big screen just to see those two big titans just going at it.
I was very tempted to go see it myself in theaters this weekend, but I just never got around to it.
I'm too cheap to go see that one in theaters when I could watch it for free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be the problem with a lot of the other movies that are going to the HBO Max. And I feel like it's going to backfire on Warner Brothers. Like, well, so much so that I read that they've already said they're not continuing it for a second year. It's just for this year. Like after this calendar year, they're like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. I think they figured out after like 2 months how much money they're losing.
Yeah,
So,
Because like in a couple weeks, when that Mortal Kombat movie comes out.
that's
oh
uh
yeah,
that's next week. That's Thursday,
Okay, yeah,
the 16th.
I'm not paying for that in the theaters. I'll watch that on my
HBO Max.
TV here at home.
right, yeah. It doesn't
I've been
necessarily
burned by
warrant
Mortal
it.
Kombat before.
Once or twice.
Yeah,
Yeah, depending on how you view the first movie. Definitely the second one.
yeah. That trailer though for this new one did look pretty cool, and I heard
Yeah.
they tried to use as much practical as possible, so it should be pretty
Uh,
cool. So you
I don't know
say
how practical
huh?
how practical can you get when you're ripping somebody's skull out of their head?
Well,
Wow.
I don't know. Ask Savini.
How
He
many
could do
bicycle
it.
kicks can you get in real life?
Well, so you're gonna give the that Kong vs Godzilla stamp of approval.
I mean, with the caveat of no understanding that, like, I know that it's not going to be up for. Well, I'd say it might be up for like special effects or sound editing or something, but
Mhm.
like, you know, Alexander Skarsgård's not going to find himself on Best Actor for Kong versus Godzilla. I doubt we're going to be. I doubt we're going to be debating whether or not Godzilla versus Kong is going to beat whatever artsy fartsy movie that Merchant Films puts out this year.
Yeah.
Well, truly, what I would think that what a monkey. See, he should win Best Picture of the Year because this this movie that is about racism.
Yeah, I'd give it the
Yeah.
stamp. I give it the stamp of approval.
Right
Oh yeah,
on.
it was fun. It was absolutely worth watching if you enjoy the kaiju movies to begin with.
Yeah, or just a battle between two titans.
And who doesn't want to see something like that? What red-blooded
I'm sure there's
American?
I'm sure there are some people who don't.
Unbelievable. It made pretty good money this weekend. They were all very
Yeah.
surprised.
Well, and I think part of that is it's showing people are so desperate to get back into the movie, like get back into theaters, that they're just like finally something to go see.
Yeah.
That that movie, but I think it also speaks to the long-standing, like, Godzilla is still super popular.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
like you put his name on a movie and people are gonna go see it. It's just you know you throw him in there, people are like, yep, gotta go see that one.
Mm-hmm. So how long before we get like another solo movie from either one of these two main guys?
I don't know. There's not any talk, which is surprising because like after Kong Skull Island, they were immediately talking about doing Godzilla versus Kong,
Mm-hmm.
and then they stuck Godzilla King of All Monsters in there before they did Kong versus Godzilla. But they haven't really talked about doing anything after this one.
Wait,
So
so there's been two Godzilla movies so far in this universe?
right in this universe, yeah. There was the
Wow.
one probably 6 years ago,
Mhm.
5 years. The
With-
one that Aaron Taylor Johnson was in, and
Yeah.
maybe Elizabeth Olsen.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
I
remember
think
who else was in
so.
that one.
Yeah. Bryan Cranston was in it, right?
Yeah, Bryan Cranston. Yeah, he was in it. There was that one,
Okay,
and then
yeah.
they did Kong Skull Island, where Tom Hiddleston and Allison Brie and Sam Jackson and
Mm-hmm.
John C. Riley.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
then
thought
they
Jack
did.
Black in it too.
Jack Black was
Yeah,
in a different Kong. That was a
He
different
was in the
Kong
Peter
movie.
Jackson
that
one.
was okay.
Right. That's not in that universe. That was kind of a standalone. And then they did that King of All Monsters, which didn't do all that well. I don't remember,
I don't
but that
even.
was the one where Millie Bobby Brown, 11
Hmm.
from Stranger Things,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
in it.
Huh. I didn't
Yeah,
know anything about this. That's crazy. I don't recall
yeah.
that.
It wasn't all that good, but I mean it was. Godzilla fought Ghidorah, and I think Mothra was in the first. There was a couple other big monsters that they. Well, I mean, obviously, King of All Monsters. I mean, that kind of that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of. They're not exactly hiding the plot when they named these movies. Like Godzilla versus Kong, you say? Wonder what's going to happen in that movie.
I'm not sure where this one's going at all.
I don't know.
Was Baby Godzilla in any of these?
No, Godzuki has not made the appearance yet.
Oh, damn. No, hopefully, maybe in the third one then.
Maybe.
yeah. Versus a normal size Kong. Versus Diddy Kong.
That's amazing. I would watch the shit out of that. So I'm gonna have to check this one out in theaters.
So
then. Is that what you recommend? Seeing it on the big screen?
I would, just because I mean it's. I mean, I am a big proponent of the movie theater anyway. Like I don't.
Mhm.
I hope that all the people who are saying that the movie theater is going to die are wrong, because I mean there's just I love going to sit in the big. We actually drove up to the Majestic and
Mm.
saw it on the Ultra screen.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Are they just doing limited capacity? Is that how they're doing it, or?
Yeah, I think they're still at 50%, and
Okay.
like so all the seats have the little stickers on them,
Mm.
and of course I mean obviously Marcus really got lucky that like 2 years ago or whenever it was they went to all the seats are reserved to begin with. Like
Mhm.
you purchase, you don't just buy tickets and then go fight to get your seat. Like
Yeah.
everything is, it's like going to a concert. Like here's your seat.
Yeah.
So like they were already perfectly set to handle this pandemic, that they could easily just be like, these are your seats, and then okay, these seats are bought, so these ones are now off limits.
Mm-hmm.
These ones are bought, and then they can kind of control the crowd that way and do it. I mean, it still wasn't packed. I mean, there was, I don't know. I mean, we also went at like noon on a Sunday, so
That helps.
we went noon on Easter Sunday, so it wasn't
Oh.
like it wasn't the most packed of
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited to get back to theater. It's been too long. I can't even remember the last thing I saw. I mean, I could sit here and try
Yeah, I would
on
be
it,
like,
but
oh my god.
cut out the dead air later.
Well, I mean, I can't say like it's been so long since I've been to a movie. Like I mean, because we did rent out that theater and see News of the World
Oh yeah, yeah.
a few months ago. But the
Mhm.
fact that like in this year, and it's already like mid-April, I've only seen two movies in the theater. Last year, I don't remember how many movies I saw in the theater, because I don't remember how many I saw before the pandemic hit. But from like March until the end of the year, the only movie I saw in the theater was Jumanji.
Oh, nice.
That
Yeah.
second Jumanji movie,
Yeah.
and that was because like Marcus was like, we are so desperate just to make any kind of money, we're just going to start running all these second run movies for $5, and like just please come see a movie.
Help,
and
just
and
anyone.
and Jess and I were like, well, she had already seen it, I hadn't seen it. I don't know. We are like, well, let's just go see a movie, like just
Mhm.
anything. Okay, that's the only one that either one of us can agree on. Let's go see it. So in a calendar year, I've only seen 3 movies in the theaters. Like I know Justin goes, you go, well, you used to have that movie pass.
Yeah, when that thing actually worked and existed, I'd go all the time.
Right. Right. But I mean it's I mean, it's at least once a month, but more likely twice a month. I'd go see a movie in the theaters.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really hoping that we can get back to that. And, it looks like there's a lot of cool shit coming out this summer.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it stays on schedule. I think it's a good way to lead us into some trailer talk.
All right, let's get ahead of trailer talk.
So there was a lot of stuff that dropped like in the last couple weeks. We got trailers for we got a second Suicide Squad trailer. Did you guys watch that one?
No.
There was some additional scenes, and they kind of give you a better look at some of the characters that they showed in the first one. You got a little longer dialogue with Polka Dot Man. There was just a longer look. They did a lot of the same stuff too, like some like the hand scene, and you guys will have to check that out. It's pretty good. It makes me want to see it even more, but not that it was ever in doubt.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So then we got a trailer. Did you guys watch the Space Jam 2 trailer?
Yeah.
What's with that? You're not excited?
I'm gonna let the resident NBA fan handle that first before I give my opinions.
Okay. Justin's overtime.
My opinion on that one's just no. Not really excited for it.
Why is that?
I like the first one. That's like growing up, I watched that so much.
Mm-hmm.
I think I still have the soundtrack somewhere in my car.
Nice.
And I just feel like they didn't need to remake it. And then watching it, I was like, yep, should have just left it alone.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't get excited for it when I seen it.
I'm kind of shocked by that, actually. I mean, I understand your sentiments because I love the first one as well. And I went into this thinking, like, before I even watched the trailer, I'm like, fuck this. Like, LeBron James and his shitty acting, they're going to ruin the whole franchise. And then I watched the trailer, and I'm like, I kind of want to see this. Like, I'm in. They got me with all those fucking cameos, like Ready Player One style.
I will put it to you this way. If it wasn't coming to HBO Max for free, there's no chance in hell I would watch that movie.
What happens if it showed up on another streaming service like Netflix?
Because
as long as you don't have to pay for it, you'll see it.
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to pay one dime to see that movie.
That's harsh.
Because it's free. I'll watch it.
That's really
harsh.
You
do pay for an HBO subscription, so it's not technically free.
Yeah, you still are paying. Wow. You should write them a letter and make sure that all your money goes towards that studio.
Dear HBO, my monthly subscription, can I make sure that none of the pennies that I give you go towards Space Jam?
LeBron does not need my money.
I mean, LeBron is just the beginning of why I have no interest in that movie. I mean, and it's probably also the end of that discussion, but it's I can't stand him. I hate everything about him. Like,
wow.
I mean, this gets us into this really gets us into a discussion about sports that Jeremy, you might want to just go ahead and take a nap, but
okay.
I mean, the discussion that people have on the LeBron versus Jordan or LeBron versus Kobe or LeBron, and it's all garbage, because one, my argument is that yes, I know LeBron has, how many titles does he have now?
4.
All right. So he still doesn't have as many as Jordan. I know he has them with 3 teams. Jordan has all of them with 1.
Mm-hmm.
But we are not going to be having a conversation about Scottie Pippen the way we do now if Scottie Pippen doesn't play with Jordan. If Scottie Pippen gets drafted by the Trailblazers and plays his entire career as a Blazer or bounces around the league, Scottie Pippen is one of those guys that we talk about, like John Starks or Reggie Miller.
He's like, who?
or Reggie
Are you in
Miller.
relation to James?
We talk about him like, oh man, remember he was he was good on that team, or he was, in that era, like he was a good player. Oh, too bad he never got a chance. We don't talk about Scottie Pippen as one of the greatest players in NBA history if he doesn't.
I still don't. I never liked Scottie Pippen. I didn't
You
like
know,
Michael Jordan either for the Bulls.
I couldn't stand him at the time either. I can look back on it now, but I still think, as much as I couldn't stand him, I think at the time, like, I could still appreciate how good he was.
The one thing that helped them win all those championships was Dennis Rodman.
Well, he rescued Dennis Rodman's career.
Oh, that wasn't savable.
He made John Paxson's career, Steve Kerr's career. The list of players who have gotten talked about in the pantheon of the greats because they played with Jordan is endless.
I agree with that.
Dwayne Wade is going to be one of the top players in the NBA, regardless of whether or not he ever plays with LeBron.
Do you agree with that, Justin?
Yeah.
Because Dwayne Wade, I mean, by the time LeBron got to Miami, Dwayne Wade already had a title, and he
with Shaq.
Well, with Shaq, but he was already leading that team. Like, he was the reason that team was where it was, that LeBron would want to even go there. Chris Bosh was a really, like a top level, like he was an all-star, but he was a top level player. He was well established before he went to play with LeBron. Kevin Love was established and a top level player before he went to play with LeBron. I mean, look at all the Anthony Davis and all the other guys that played with LeBron last year on the Lakers. LeBron has never taken a player who was a nobody and made him a superstar. LeBron can't win if he doesn't build a team of superstars around him.
Plus, there was that one time that he put his nuts in the guy's face. So
the team with Cleveland wasn't completely filled with superstars when they won their championship, when they took down Golden State.
Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and who else was there?
Okay, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson.
That's a good point. But
Andre Iguodala.
Oh, I mean, so the one title he has with Cleveland maybe is the legitimate title. Yeah. I mean, but we're talking about him in terms of Tom Brady, like,
whoa,
like not the greatest of all time, regardless of what people want to say.
Who's better? Who the fuck is better?
Than Tom Brady?
Yeah.
If you go based solely on talent, you take the titles out of it. Like, you don't discuss Super Bowl.
You can't take the titles out of it.
Absolutely, you can.
It's all about the titles.
It is nothing
100% about the titles.
It is not.
If you don't have a ring, you're fucking nothing.
You're gonna say Dan Marino is nothing?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
All right. Well, where's the mute button on this?
Jim Kelly.
Who's
that? Never heard of him.
I mean, my thing is, you get a time machine and you can pull all these quarterbacks at their prime. Legitimately, you're going to take Tom Brady over Peyton Manning, Joe Montana.
I would take him over Peyton.
Come on now.
I don't like Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning? Are you serious?
No, let's not talk about Peyton Manning, because you don't like Peyton Manning because of the commercials. We're talking
I don't like Peyton Manning in general. I like his commercials. His commercials are entertaining.
I'll take Tom Brady at any age over Peyton Manning toward the twilight of his career.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You take Peyton Manning at the prime of his career and tell me that Tom Brady's even worthy of holding his jock? Come on.
Yes.
You think that Tom Brady is even in the same sport as Joe Montana?
Mm-hmm. He's got 6 Super Bowl rings. 7. He took a team of nobodies all the way to the Super Bowl this year.
They weren't really a team of nobodies. They were really established.
Come on. They were this.
Who's this Todd Bowles guy? I never heard of him.
Oh yeah. Bruce Arians, one of the higher thought of coaches. Because the second he showed up there, all of a sudden you didn't have Gronk come out of retirement. You didn't have a couple wide receivers sign on down there, a couple defensive guys sign on.
They
down
didn't
there.
really need to have those guys sign on. They already had
Tampa-
that team.
Tampa didn't. Tampa already had a good team. They just needed a quarterback that
That's
wasn't.
not Jameis Winston.
It wasn't Jameis Winston.
So
I mean, quite honestly, if they had gotten Phillip Rivers, I think that we're talking about Tampa Bay
oh really?
as a potential Super Bowl team this year.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really?
With the team that they had, I mean, look at how Tom Brady played in the regular season.
Pretty damn
yes,
good.
There were times during the regular season where people were like, "It's time for him to hang it up. Like he can't."
Are
Get
you
this done."
insane? Compared to fucking Breeze, Tom Brady was lighting it up.
During the regular season? Were you paying attention?
Yes, I had him in my fantasy team. I was watching every single game that Tom Brady played.
Breeze didn't do much.
He was
in
a
the
top
regular
10
season.
quarterback. He finished in the top 10.
Let's not talk about Breeze because Breeze spent most of the year on the disabled list.
Breeze was done last year.
Right,
His arm fell off.
But Tom Brady was better than a lot of quarterbacks this season. He was in the top 10.
I mean, there was definitely a large chunk of the season where Tom Brady was average, and that's putting it mildly.
It's not even all about how he plays. It's about what he does to like motivate the locker room and his leadership abilities and his like how he just elevates everyone around him. He's a fucking He's the fucking GOAT.
If you want to stop sucking his dick long enough to actually look at the fact that he's a system quarterback, and even though he has 7 rings, first off, let's stop talking about that because Bill Russell has 13.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, Bill Russell has 13 championships with.
I know the name Tom Brady. I don't know that guy.
That's because it's basketball.
How many championships does Gretzky have? I know there's a couple guys with hockey that have double digits.
I don't know.
So
okay, who's this? Wait, go back to that Bill guy. What's his name?
Bill Russell.
How old was he when he retired?
Oh, I have no idea.
I'll get that. I think he was in his 40s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bill Russell. Bill Russell won what 13 championships in like 15 years.
Something
I think the Celtics won 11 in a row.
Was he along for the ride, or was he a key factor in those
He was a key factor in almost all of it.
Yeah, he was a big part of it.
He's a basketball player.
Yeah.
So these two things are not comparable.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you want to talk just about championships, somebody's got a bigger dick than Tom Brady.
Well, I'm sure there's people in their respective sports that are better than Tom Brady, but Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time because he's got the most rings. Winners fucking win, and that's all it comes down to.
When it comes down to it,
you could say he's the most accomplished quarterback of all time with his rings, but I wouldn't say he's the best talent-wise.
Well, and because championships don't mean anything to an individual career.
Well,
championship just mean you were on the best team that year. I mean, how many times has there been a team that have won the Super Bowl that were 8-8 or 10-8 and they just got hot on the playoffs? What was that year? What was the year that the last time the Steelers won the Super Bowl? Weren't they 8-8 and all on the road the whole time? They just got hot going into the playoffs. You're going to tell me that they were the best team that year? No. They were not the best.
I'd have to go back in my time machine and watch that whole season.
Go back and look at the season that the Patriots lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. You're going to tell me that Eli Manning and the Giants were a better team than the New England Patriots?
Well, I guess they probably were if they won. The better team always wins because they find a way to win. That's just the way it goes.
The better team does not always win. That's why you play the game.
They wouldn't win if they weren't the better team.
I mean, if the officials were just,
the people with the most heart
once in a while.
Oh, so it's rigged? Is that what you're telling me?
A little bit.
Sometimes.
Not as rigged as basketball.
All sports.
Maybe a little rigged.
All sports are rigged.
So yeah, I could see it, but I don't know. Someone's got to defend Tom Brady.
Every sport has an agenda who they want. What's the best for ratings?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you can't sit here and say that like look at the career of Dan Marino and say that Dan Marino was nothing because
he's
he,
not.
he doesn't have any rings. Dan Marino is a better quarterback than all but like 10 guys who ever stepped foot on the field in the NFL history. Warren Moon was an amazing quarterback, and he just never played for a good team.
Mm.
Jim Kelly's the only quarterback that ever took one team to 4 straight Super Bowls.
And
His
lost
team
them
just
all.
wasn't, and his team just wasn't good enough.
If
His
he
field
really,
goal kicker let him down. Look how many of the 7 Super Bowls that Tom Brady has.
It sounds
how
like a
many
lot
does
of
he-
excuses.
How many Super Bowls does Tom Brady have because Adam Vinatieri could actually kick the ball?
And maybe Adam Vinatieri was inspired by Tom Brady.
And what happens if you take the whole Tuck rule completely out of it? They never go to the first one.
Right, absolutely.
Or
there's a lot of what ifs.
Or the stealing plays. And all
Or
that
you
stuff
take
too.
the
Oh,
spy.
please.
You take Spygate out.
That has nothing to do with Tom Brady and his performance.
You take Spygate. You take the spying out. And you don't have the entire defensive playbook of the St. Louis Rams, and the St. Louis Rams run roughshod over Tom Brady and the Patriots.
That was Belichick. That has nothing to do with Tom Brady.
You take away overinflated balls, or you put the balls
they were deflated.
Deflated or whatever it was. Tom Brady doesn't make that Super Bowl. He gets beat by the Titans.
You're telling me a little PSI is going to make the difference between winning and losing a game? They crushed that team anyways. They fucking destroyed the Colts.
They barely beat the Titans.
That was the Colts and
it was the Colts, wasn't it?
It was either the Colts or the Broncos. It wasn't the Titans.
Yeah.
The ball.
Go back and look at it. I know the Titans.
You go back and look at it.
That's what Justin is for. He's the internet guy.
Yeah, he sucks with technology. It was versus the Colts.
Interesting.
Did they play the Titans the next week?
I'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Well,
I'm just saying, Brett Favre only has 1 Super Bowl, but we don't have a lot of asterisks next to his name.
Oh, you know what? Also, and Tom Brady never had to show his prick to anybody either.
A lot of Brett Favre stuff. He was high on Vicodin.
That's a good point. He might have been a bad example.
That actually makes it a little bit more impressive to me. I like Brett Favre. I mean, for me, my top personal list is probably Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Then it's all sort of like you can screw around with the rest.
I mean, well, there you go. You just said Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Look at how much Mike McCarthy actively has held Aaron Rodgers back.
Yeah, but I'm going to still say, I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of fucked up things that he did to put him in the position that ultimately didn't end in a win. Like, you can't always blame McCarthy for some of the decisions that Rodgers has made throughout these playoff games.
The season of Deflategate, the next game the Patriots played was in the Super Bowl when they beat the Seahawks.
Well, and they beat the Seahawks because Pete Carroll
run the ball.
Made the biggest bonehead play in NFL history.
That's because he knew he was in the presence of a legend.
No, that's because he wanted Russell Wilson to be MVP, not Lynch.
Ask him about his baseball.
Yeah, true. And Richard Sherman's face.
Well, and you could make the argument with Brett Favre not having the second Super Bowl ring because Sherman, who was the coach in 96, 97?
Mike Holmgren.
Because Holmgren wanted Favre to be the Super Bowl MVP. So
no, Brett Favre wanted John Elway to win the Super Bowl and retire. So he threw the game, and then Elway came back another year.
Well, there was that argument too, but I know a lot of people who argue that Holmgren wanted Favre to go out there and show Elway up and get that Super Bowl MVP because Desmond Howard got it the year before, and so they went out there and played stupid, and Denver just took it to Green Bay because Holmgren got dumb.
Oh, they wanted Elway to go out on top.
So, but are you not going to tell me that longevity doesn't contribute any bit to being one of the greatest? No, Just because, I mean, that's insane.
I mean, there's other sports where, like, okay, how long did Morton Anderson play for? Till he
Oh,
was
like
50?
Yeah,
23
true.
years,
But he
24
wasn't
years.
doing the things that.
You just said
Yeah, I mean,
longevity. You didn't say at a certain position.
Well, longevity and performance to back it
I mean,
up. I mean,
I guess I
sure, there's a
do
lot
have
of.
to give I guess I do have to give Tom Brady credit there that 20 years as a starting NFL quarterback, he has, you know, been remarkably, pliable. I guess when you drink that much water,
He's probably the most hydrated person in the world.
because we all know that drinking water is what keeps you from getting sunburned. Um,
And a vibrating foam roller helps a lot too. So, um,
Oh man.
it helps to have a model wife as well.
Yeah,
right.
who makes more than you so you could take pay cuts to have a super team built around you?
Yeah, I
Right.
know. I feel bad for him. He's practically like living on welfare. He's making so little. um, fuck. I had a thought about him. Another
You
thought.
have several thoughts about him.
I just feel like someone's gotta be in this. Like, what really
Can
like
we go back like 3-4 years when you just wouldn't
hated
stop
him?
ripping on the guy? And
I
now you're
know
like,
I don't know how this happened. I don't
I know
know.
exactly how it happened. You couldn't get Walt Flanagan's dick out of your mouth long enough that he didn't he just kind of slipped Tom Brady's in there with it.
Oh, geez. Well, I mean, that's partially true, but I just don't know how you can't be like, I agree with Walt. Like, I just don't know how you can't be impressed with the guy at this point. Like, it started as a joke for me too. And it's like, really, what more does the guy, okay, is it just because I'm saying he's the greatest ever? Is that why? Is that what?
is it because he left New England and went to Tampa? You're like, oh, look how great he is now.
Well, that's a little bit of it, but I mean, yeah, but it's just the age thing. I mean, it's just insane. Like the fucking guy is like middle aged, like in the mid 40s, and he's playing like a young dude. It just blows my. It's inspiring.
He's not playing like a young dude.
Kinda.
You look at the young guys, they're running around.
Okay,
making plays.
okay,
He's standing there with a good offensive line because
all right.
Nicholas can run the 40-yard dash faster than Tom Brady.
Okay, I'm not. Yeah, he's
hold
not
on
running
now.
around like a young guy, but he's on the field taking hits and he's getting back up and he's throwing the ball like a young guy. Like,
No, I mean I will give him credit for that. I have a hard time getting back up when I lay on the ground and take an engine out of a power buggy. So, you know, and
I don't know.
I,
He wasn't throwing the ball very accurate in the NFC Championship game.
no, but he did get the ball in the end zone 4 times.
Kevin King.
if the Packers had a better defense, which is the argument that I think Aaron Rodgers will be able to use, for his Hall of Fame resume. If my team had bothered to get a defense,
He'll win a couple more Super Bowls on a different team before he retires.
Oh,
I think the Packers have got a shot at getting it before he leaves the.
this is the year, I think.
Leaves.
There's already been rumored trades and stuff involving him this offseason.
I already heard the Patriots, but yeah,
That's there is as much chance of me shaving my beard off voluntarily that there is that the Green Bay Packers will trade Aaron Rodgers this year.
Oh, but he probably one more year, maybe 2, and then he's gone.
Well, let's make it happen, man.
I hope that Gutekunst isn't as dumb as Ted Thompson.
Don't speak ill of the dead.
You can look at Ted Thompson, and I'm not speaking ill of him because he's dead. I said this when he was alive.
I know.
You can look at the direct actions of Ted Thompson and him not taking the trade for Marshawn Lynch when they offered Marshawn when the Bills offered Marshawn Lynch the Packers him for a bag of Skittles and a couple of 7th round picks. And Ted Thompson's like, draft and develop. I can't give up those draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, If they had Marshawn Lynch show up in the year where they were 15-1, do you think they get beat by the Giants in the playoffs?
No. Or the same
No.
same thing with Randy Moss when they could have got him.
Right.
Yeah.
But because Ted Thompson was so big on that stupid draft and develop theory, and that was his philosophy, he never got Aaron Rodgers. He never got Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers, what either of them needed to have to succeed.
Even if they would have got him that early on in their career with them keeping around Dom Capers longer than they should have, I don't think it matters what we did offensively.
Well, and that was the other thing, is that Ted Thompson's loyalty to certain people was, stupid. Mike McCarthy's loyalty to certain people is Mike McCarthy's only been in Dallas for 1 year now, or is it 2 years?
Just one.
Just one, and it was a great year for Dallas.
Yeah, you
It
can
didn't start
see
off all that bad.
but you can see exactly what Tom McCarthy. I don't even know where that came. Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy did exactly what Mike McCarthy does. I mean, you have Zeke Elliott, and
Overrated.
What do you do with him? Nothing. I mean,
their offensive line got restructured too. Zeke's not that good. It's that offensive line that's been so dominant.
There's that, but Tom McCarthy doesn't know how to use a running back. And you can't. The fact that Dak Prescott just got paid the level that he got paid, it's honestly it's one of the greatest gifts for those of us that hate the Cowboys more than we love the Packers, because it's really like Jerry Jones hates the Cowboys as much, if not more, than I do.
Wow.
Do
you not like Dak Prescott?
That's true.
No, Dak Prescott is a decent quarterback, but he's never going to get the job done. And you just dropped, 40 a season, 35 a season?
That's what I was looking up right now, because I know it's a lot.
That's huge.
On a guy who cannot get the job done by himself.
Well, who knows, though? Maybe time will tell.
and after seeing the disaster that McCarthy brought down on the Cowboys, well, let's try him out another year. I am all for NFL teams not getting rid of a head coach after 1 year and letting him kind of develop a system. But when you look at what he did, he lost Dak, but he had Andy Dalton. It's not Andy Dalton's not at the best of at the top of his career.
Oh, he's good. He's with the Bears now. Good place for him.
I mean, it's
Andy Dalton's on the Bears.
Yeah, he's a starter.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because I think the Bears GM is really a Packer fan, because he's like, what can I do to make sure that the Packers win that division?
Yeah,
I know.
So
it certainly seems that way.
How much do you think the top 4 guys of the Cowboys, Lawrence, Prescott, Cooper, and Elliott, their cap hit is this year?
73% of the team.
Well, I don't have a percentage of a number.
Oh, 120.
$89 million.
And what's the cap?
185.
Okay, so not quite 50, but so you got 4 guys that make up almost 50%.
Yeah, close to it.
Yeah, and that is a problem for the Packers as well. I mean, they're spending a lot of money on Rodgers.
They are.
Yeah.
And you can't, it's. I don't really understand what some of these NFL teams are thinking. Patrick Mahomes is great, and he is going to be, potentially, as long as he doesn't get injured, potentially one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played.
But it depends on how many Super Bowls he gets.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Anyway.
It does. You want to get back into this?
No, it doesn't. No. Super Bowls are a team championship. Individuals.
But
it matters what you do on the field individually. Your
Brady's got
win-loss
the
should not-
stats too.
So does
when
Breeze.
So he's one of the greatest too.
One Super Bowl.
Yeah. So that's why he's second.
Is he better than Rodgers?
No.
He's got better stats than Rodgers. Same amount of Super Bowls.
Yeah, but Rodgers' career is not over yet. He's gonna outpace. He's outpacing that. He's gonna be.
God. As long as he continues to actually hit open targets instead of trying to get the 40-yard bomb every time.
Well, and the thing that I will go to is what's his name? Ty Detmer, Coy Detmer. What Detmer won a Super Bowl with Baltimore?
I don't think either of them.
Who? Not Joe Flacco. The other guy who won.
Trent
Baltimore.
Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer. Okay, all right.
I was like Coy and Ty didn't win Super Bowls.
Well, which one? Who won the Super Bowl with Tampa? The other Super Bowl with Tampa then?
Brad Johnson.
That was Brad Johnson? Okay. Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer. You're going to tell me that those guys are on the same level as Brett Favre? Or either you're going to take Trent Dilfer over Dan Marino?
That's huge.
I don't take any of those guys. I take Brady over everybody.
But I mean,
what about Eli Manning over?
I don't care about any of those schlubs. Eli Manning over Favre because they got the same amount of rings.
Eli has more.
Oh, he's got two.
More.
Yeah.
Eli has 2 rings.
That means he's
Eli
better.
has as many rings. Come on,
Eli
seriously.
Eli got both of his rings against Tom Brady. Tom Brady has never beat Eli Manning in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, let's if they went back to try it one more time, I'm sure he'd take him on.
So, all right, we go back to this time machine. We go back to this time machine, right?
The sports hijacked this one.
I can't believe
we go back to this time. We go back to this time machine that we magically got. All right, and we go get Eli Manning at the prime of his career, and Dan Marino at the prime of his career, and you're going to sit here and legitimately tell me that you're going to take Eli Manning over Dan Marino.
You know what? I'll take Walt Flanagan's cock out of my mouth when you take fucking Dan Marino's dick out of yours. Because
I'm using Dan Marino as an example because he is one of the great, one of the top quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Who never won a Super Bowl. Did he even go to a Super Bowl?
I think one. I'd have to look.
Okay. But I'm just saying, like,
no, maybe not. I don't think he ever did.
Look at the list of. You go back and look at the list of all-time NBA players, and you tell me that, some guy who was on the Bulls for all 6 years is better than Charles Barkley because Charles Barkley doesn't have any rings, and he happened to be there on the Bulls bench for all 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Championships is a team stat.
Marino went once but lost.
Mm-hmm. And individuals elevate teams.
Yeah, Marino lost in the Super Bowl.
There are 32 NFL teams.
Mm-hmm.
Only one team gets to win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's astronomically stupid for the talking heads to sit here and say, oh, well, this guy won a Super Bowl, so he's clearly better than this other guy. Well, there's a fair amount of luck that goes into winning the Super Bowl or the NBA title or the World Series or...
Yeah, you know what? We shouldn't even have them then. We should just do away with them because it's all about, performance of the individual.
Well, that's what the Hall of Fame is for. The Hall of Fame is for the individual. And when you're talking about, quarterbacks or running backs or wide receivers, you're talking about the individual. You really shouldn't bring overall championships into it unless at the end of the day, you have exact same career numbers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and then the only thing you have to compare it to, and even then it has to be in the same era.
You have to be voted to the Pro Bowl in order to make it into the Hall of Fame to be eligible, which I think that rule is stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that because I don't think Like, I don't think any other sport has that rule about the All-Star game.
Yeah, it's the NFL's. Because I think, what is it? Ryan Fitzmagic. He'll never get into the Hall of Fame unless he gets his into a Pro Bowl.
No.
Well, let's.
So we know what we're voting for this year.
So, do you legitimately think Fitzmagic should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yes.
My personal top 5 list goes Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Fitzmagic, Warren Moon.
This is why when we do the sports podcast, you're not on it.
I know.
This is exactly why he's on
talk
it.
about this shit. I don't want to be in this position to defend these people.
You brought it up.
Yeah, but you guys brought it up a second time.
We never got off it. It started with Space Jam.
Oh, that
I
is
just
true.
wanted to talk about some trailers.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, I'll watch Space Jam because it will be free.
Fuck LeBron James, anyways.
But basically, yeah. Basically, that's exactly what I want to say.
I do like how he asked Giannis to be in it, and Giannis told him no, he's not Hollywood.
Yeah, that's cool. Good for him.
He's
a man's man.
Now that we've been distracted from the trailer talk, what other trailer do we got this week?
Oh, geez. Did you guys watch the Loki one?
Oh yeah, actually, I watched that today.
Fuck yeah, that looks good.
And the Black Widow one too.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been last week, but we didn't record last week.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited for both those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch the new Black Widow trailer because I was like, I'm gonna see the movie already. I don't need to see any more trailers. Like you didn't need to show. Like honestly, like for any Marvel movie at this point in Marvel, like you don't have to spend any money on advertising. You just
show you they do just the poster.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, I know I said it during like Avengers or maybe Avengers Age of Ultron or Infinity War. Your entire campaign could have just been one commercial of Robert Downey Jr. walking out in a microphone going, "Yep, we did it." Drop the mic and walk off the screen.
Yeah. That's enough. That would have done it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We made another Thor movie. Good night.
Right. You don't even have to run it on TV. You just put that up on YouTube and then just throw some posters on there. Mm-hmm. And you're done. You win. Like you're gonna make $1 billion. Like,
yeah. I gotta say though, I'm not like super excited for Black Widow, but I mean I'll still check it out. It just, kind of doesn't, it's nothing to really do with what's going on now. It's all just stuff in the past, isn't it?
That's what I'm curious to see because, they don't do things just to throw in the past. So there's going to be something that happens in that movie, or they're going to introduce something.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they did with Captain Marvel. When they went back and did Captain Marvel, where her entire story happened before the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like obviously they were also using that to reintroduce her as a reason to have her in Infinity War and Endgame. But so they're going to be doing something with Black Widow. I don't know if that means that her sister, the Florence Pugh character, mm-hmm. is taking over as Black Widow for, phase 4, like in the future, or what that exactly means. But I think they're going to be introducing something that is important going forward, which is also why they really held on to that movie and didn't want it to come out after Shang-Chi or the Eternals or Doctor Strange. Like there's a reason why they are pushing it as hard as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Or, we're holding on to it as much. And I don't know what that is. I don't want to be one of these people who are speculating over everything. Because they did say that they're going to have a major, for Falcon Winter Soldier, a major cameo from a character who hasn't been in the MCU yet. that shows up in with a well-established actor, and of course everybody online is, oh, it's going to be so and so, or it's going to be so and so. It's like I don't know who it's. I don't want to go down that route. We've had this conversation, because I can sit here and be like, oh well, it's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be Copperhead, or it's going to, they're finally bringing Doctor Doom. There we go. They're bringing Doctor Doom in, or they're finally going to introduce one of those guys, but it's not. It's going to be something silly.
Yeah. Well, that's cool though. I didn't know that was announced or mentioned.
Yeah.
I really like that series so far. It's been a lot of fun. The new Cap is an excellent character to love, to hate. Yeah.
Excellent douche of the week.
Yeah.
You know who he is though, right?
Kurt Russell's son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that at lunch last week from someone. That's interesting.
Yeah, because I was like, when I saw him, I was like, wow, that guy looks really familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh wow, that is definitely Kurt Russell's son.
Yeah.
That means the new Captain America is Ego the Living Planet's son.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far. I can't wait to see where they're going with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that earlier today. It's like I watched it probably an hour before we got on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I watched it earlier this afternoon. It was I saw that, like, the build up with John Walker, spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it yet, you're going to want to turn the podcast off now. Mm-hmm. Come back in like a minute. When
a minute, okay.
Yeah, that's
all right.
Pretty optimistic.
Maybe you just want to turn it off at this point. Pick us back up next week. But
take 5. Go get yourself a drink.
Go write me some hate mail about Tom Brady.
Maybe take a banyo break.
You could kind of see that build up, John Walker got his ass handed to him by the Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
And then he's clearly just getting beat, left and right, here or there, and just like, oh my goodness, we need this, we need that. And then when he finally just snaps and then just beats that guy to death with the shield.
Dude, yeah, that was fucking crazy. I knew.
Do you think he's taken the serum yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
especially when you blast that guy all the way down the stairs.
Okay.
He did it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too.
Plus, he jumps out of that window and does that superhero landing on top of his hand.
Yeah. That's a pretty high distance.
Yeah. You're not going to see a normal man do that.
Probably not, but we do see some pretty weird things in the comic books, so
that's true.
Sam Wilson's a normal guy, and he's doing some pretty crazy things. So.
That's true. Yeah.
He's got that the wings though.
Yeah. Just on a side note, I don't know if you're going to want to edit this later or not, but can you hear the nonsense that's happening?
Okay. A little bit, yeah. But we could figure it out.
I was trying to figure out what it was earlier, and then it dawned on me what it was.
Oh well, people are probably used to it by now. It's sweeping the nation.
They turned it off listening to that, so they didn't even get to the spoilers. It worked out.
The Quinn decided it was time to attack the cat.
My dog's just sleeping on the couch holding her teddy bear.
So Quinn was laying next to me and everything was fine, and then the cat came walking into the room, and apparently it was game on.
No time.
Well, my invisible dog is very well behaved, so
hanging out with your spider.
Still never found that spider. I don't know what happened to that thing. It spies on me while I sleep.
You probably ate it while you were asleep.
Oh God. Does that mean I'll have superpowers?
Try climbing the wall.
Probably not.
Nope.
Damn.
Well, this was a pretty heated episode, boys. I didn't expect to have to defend Tom Brady so hard, but I just feel like somebody has to. Because if all three of us shit on him, like, where's the fun in that?
Group effort.
Not to go back to this again, but
It would be it'd be a nice team building exercise if we all were on the same page about him.
yeah. So maybe next season I'll go back to shitting on him.
After he gets
the script,
after he gets hit once and has a Joe Theismann incident.
He's washed up.
Okay, well, I think that means we're pretty much just wrapping it up then, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but did you have a douche or anything?
No. I mean, just for fun, Tom Brady.
Fuck you.
I mean, besides the new Captain America,
mm-hmm.
The only other thing I had was, I think it was last week too, was that whole Little Nas X thing. I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh,
that's kind of douchey.
I hadn't heard about that.
The Satan shoes.
Yeah, he's coming out with Satan shoes.
Satan shoes?
Yeah, they're gonna have like pentagrams on them. They're only making 666 of them, and each one's gonna be made with a drop of human blood.
Oh my god. They're pulling like a kiss on these.
Yeah.
That was my
the only reason I'm not even upset by that, because I know I know he's actively trying to get people to be upset just to sell records. Like, because he learned what Marilyn Manson learned. Now, granted, Marilyn Manson ended up being a real douche in real life, but he knows that if you get certain communities really upset and riled up, you get talked about a lot on the news, and you get increased record sales because people are now trying to boycott you or ban your records, and so you're making a lot more money because you're kind of a shitty artist to begin with, and nobody really. Your 15 minutes is just about up, but oh, now all of a sudden the religious right is mad at you. So here's an extra 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I'm not gonna take the bait. I'm gonna not take it so much that I'm actually gonna buy the shoes.
Oh, those things sold out in a minute.
They're on eBay.
How much are they for on eBay?
A lot.
They sold for over $1,000 each at normal price.
Well, did any of them actually get out before Nike stopped them? Before Nike sued them?
Nike sued them too.
For real?
Yeah.
Well,
these aren't even like endorsed by Nike.
I don't understand the sneaker community all that much because I'm just not a sneakerhead. I would just as soon never wear shoes if I could get away with it. But
yeah, you wear sandals.
Yeah.
Oh, these are just custom Air Max.
It's a company called.
I think it's Air Max 9s.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There's a company called Mischief that Little Nas X teamed up with. And they took 666 pairs of these Nike Air Max shoes and custom made them. Nike sued because they're saying that these shoes are going to cause harm to their market share because everybody's referring to them as the Nike Satan shoes, not the Little Nas X Satan shoes or the Mischief Satan shoes. And Nike's like, we have nothing to do with that. Like, these people took these shoes with our logo on it, and they're profiting from them. And they're confusing the marketplace by attaching our name to something that we want nothing to do with. And so I think that's why Mischief or Little Nas X is going to lose. And they might have even been counting on that to make even more news.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had not even heard of this before. That's crazy.
Well, and because like I know that there's a bunch of people who make custom shoes. They'll get a block of whatever shoe that looks cool, and then
Yeah.
decorate them all. And Nike 99% of the time probably just ignores it because it doesn't. There's nothing offensive about it. But
Yeah.
because the news was immediately, they immediately went to the press. The headlines were Nike. Little Nas X releases Nike Satan shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and Nike was like, "Oh no 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 no
Yeah.
no no no!
This isn't us.
We didn't do that." No.
The
Yeah, so if
shoes they sold out in less than a minute, and 665 of the 666 were shipped to collectors before the restraining order was put into place.
Wow.
Oh, okay, so they did get out there then.
All but one pair.
That's pretty crazy.
Oh, because he was holding that pair back for a contest.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie; those are kind of sharp. Those are some sharp-looking shoes. But I mean, the Air Max. What are they? The 99s?
95s?
90.
90 something? Like 97s.
Okay, so I mean, just in general, I guess it's a good-looking shoe. I mean, without the doctored stuff, but I don't know.
That was the only one I had. See, I contributed one this week.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's a very worthy douche.
but yeah, no, like unlike people of my father's generation, I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm not gonna get all riled up and writing letters to the newspaper and.
No, I'm not saying we're. I don't think any of us are riled up by it.
Right.
It's just some douchey thing to do.
Right. Just the fact that he
absolutely
did it is a douchey thing.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Boom. I did something right for once.
I'd officially like to use this time to announce that the Media Pod Smash Nike crossovers are going to be coming out next week, limited to 666.
The pop culture roulette ones with the real bullet in the sole.
Yeah.
It's in the chamber.
That'd be pretty cool, actually. I wish someone would make custom shoes for us. I mean, that would be sweet, but I'm not artistic.
Do
Right,
we know a graphic designer?
if only. I think we do know one.
At one point we used to.
I do currently know one, actually.
Nice.
Possibly two.
Well, we should look into getting our own custom shoes made.
We need to get sandals too for Nicholas.
Yes, yeah. We won't forget the sandal community.
Well, I mean, the big problem with living in Wisconsin is that I do have to wear shoes.
I mean, you don't have to. You just don't freeze off.
There's that. I don't,
it's your right.
I'd rather not have my toes just fall off.
It's your body, your rights, Nicholas.
Plus, I have to wear steel toe at work, so.
Steel toe sandals.
Steel toe sandals. I'm just picturing like those Skeletoes where each individual toe has their own slot.
Yeah.
I'll have to look in to see if I can get Skeleto safety toe.
It'd be cool.
See how fast my boss is like, go
home. Get out.
What is wrong with you?
All right. Well, I guess that means that once again, Oscar nominations will be talked about next week.
We just keep putting them off.
We'll just keep pushing that off.
This one got hijacked by sports, and it wasn't even me.
Yeah, that was crazy. I really didn't see that one coming. I hope people aren't mad at me because I really, that's not completely 100% my opinion.
Well, people are probably going to be madder at me and Justin than you because there's a lot more people that have your opinion.
You think so?
Yeah, well, watch ESPN.
I thought a lot of people still were on the hate train, though. Like the non-talking heads, like the general public, are still sort of like anti-Brady. I thought
they're more like that because they're just tired of him winning all the time. It's like, go away,
right?
Yeah, I just don't think championships make you the greatest.
Okay, and
most accomplished, sure, but that doesn't mean you're the best athlete. That you're the greatest quarterback.
To be clear, I do agree with you guys for the most part on that. But I'm a Brady apologist.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to you. I don't know
I don't know
when you
either, man.
He got that free TB12 book, and then it's all
Yeah.
downhill from there.
Yeah, I'm in the cult now.
when, I don't know when you drank deeply from the cup of the dark side.
Wow.
Yeah, sometime at the beginning of the season, the last season, I should say.
So, all right, well then,
Do we have the
I
results
guess
before we disappear of who won the March Madness bracket?
you did.
Well,
Okay.
why don't you?
I
Can you
just
pull
want
those up real quick before we go?
I just wanted that out there. I can't see yours, Jeremy.
Oh, I'll pull mine up too then.
You didn't win by that much. I was right behind you,
Boom.
but yeah, you won.
I just wanted some acknowledgement.
What
I
was
don't got what?
what was your total points?
85,
Okay. What about you, Nicholas?
70.
Okay.
Oh, really? I thought I was a lot closer to you.
You were close in correct picks. It was 39-34.
Oh, okay.
But points was 85-70.
My total points were it's not even worth mentioning, but I will.
Is it?
72.
Oh,
Wait, you had 72.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was the worst.
no, your dad with 33.
Well, I mean, come on now. Let's not pile on.
Aw.
Don't want to sully
He
the
had a
good
lot of
name.
different brackets this year, didn't he? Didn't you say he tried doing a bunch of different stuff?
Oh, he
He's on
probably
mine
did.
too. He's on the
Yeah,
fans of pop culture
Yeah,
roulette.
he decided he was going to pick with his eyes closed this year.
I think my dad said he decided this year he was going to pick geographically, and he just picked all the colleges that were closest to him.
Mm.
That would explain West Virginia winning it all over
Well,
Georgetown.
yeah, to say because Georgetown would have been the closest to him. So
He had UVA, West Virginia, Georgetown, and Wisconsin in his Final Four.
okay, so at some point he picked Wisconsin just because I live here, but the other three he picked because they're the closest to him. And based on geography, I think West Virginia might be a little closer than UVA to him,
He
but
had
not
West.
by much. They're
He had West Virginia winning it over Georgetown.
West Virginia is further away than Georgetown, so he broke with his complete based solely on who's closest. But yeah,
Yeah. I just wanted that acknowledgement.
all I know is that
Congratulations.
Memphis won the NIT, and that's all I care about. So,
yeah, well,
all right. Well,
I'm just
as long
happy
as
I
we-
hung in there.
as long as we remember that stupid never walks alone.
I never got to tell my grocery store story.